Tonight, part 2 of Metallica versus
Metallica.
All right, George.
We are the Thames Men.
We're the Thames Men, and the Wheel of Fortune. Actually, it wasn't a Wheel of Fortune.
It wasn't the Wheel of Fortune. It was just us.
Actually, so what we do is we get a band and we try and find the best track, and we do verses. And tonight we're doing Metallica, and George came in with we came in with one, and it's gone straight to the top of our monthly scoreboard with a score
At number
of,
one. Number one.
Unbelievable. That's how much we like that track. It was great.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And so, have you got something to challenge this, Mr. Alex?
I do. It's unbelievable. Really? Right. Well, we all know their classic track, Enter Sandman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bob Rock did that. And absolutely fantastic. This is them in 91, playing in Moscow, when basically Moscow was, collapsing, and it was the end of USSR, and they did a free gig, The Monsters of Rock, and you'll just see. Lots of Russians.
Okay. All right.
Line it up.
Lots of Russians?
All
right. I think
Russians.
Hold on. All right. Give me
I don't know what lots of Russians are. They a swarm of Russians? A gaggle? No, they're not a gaggle.
A horde.
No, they're not a horde. No, I wouldn't say they're a horde of Russians.
Well, was it when Genghis Khan came across the steppes? He came with his hordes. So maybe they're because that's kind of across Russian steppes, wasn't it, Genghis Khan?
Yeah,
came from Mongolia all the way across to Europe with his elephants.
What's that called? When they do that and they dance and when they dance like that, the Russians. But let's move on, shall we? Let's move on to the video.
How do they dance exactly? Could you give me a demonstration?
Let's not drag everyone through this. Right. Metallica, Enter Sandman live, Moscow, as we say in England, or Moscow, as we do in America. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, boom. Make sure it's loud.
Holy crap! How many people? Oh. How many people were there?
So I've read from 1.6 mil.
What?
Yeah, down to 600,000. So in between that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a free gig, and it was just oh my
How
God.
do you do that?
And those
Were
choppers.
they the only band on the?
No, no, no,
Were
no,
they
no.
the only band on the bill? Or other?
No, Pantera, AC/DC, and they did a whole load of Rosie and whatever, and it was the end of the tour, and then them, and so just phenomenal, phenomenal.
Yeah, and you just say about the helicopters go across the background of the crowd, and like all the army people there, just like either loving it or going, "What the f is
I
going
know, I
on?"
know. I think that was the end of the old commie state, just at the very, very end.
Well, it was after that, wasn't it? It was just
Just,
after because you
just
said it
at
was
the
91.
Yeah,
So
but they had the troops to looking after. You know what I mean? And I just
yeah,
like
things were pretty
phenomenal.
still dicey.
I don't know how much is overdubbed in the studio.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, or I mean, there was obviously a bit of fixing going on, but it was like amazing. Like, can you imagine walking out on the stage to that many people
No,
and just playing that riff?
I know.
Just be
The
like,
I read up on a song. Apparently, it's about a nightmare. Yeah, what would it be? For a kid's nightmare or whatever, and that's why on the studio version they have the talking. I just absolutely love it. So my kids love that song. I've always loved that song. It's an absolute killer song, and then to see it with that crowd to reinforce it, it's even better.
yeah, no, that's a great version. And damn, okay, that was
All
pretty
right.
spectacular. That was pretty damn amazing, and just like such a great track.
Such a great track. Are you ready for this? It's time for
Bangers or Wangers.
All right, bangers or wangers. Now,
Right.
this one's going to be a hard one to score. End of the month, Metallica's already at the top. Was this better than one?
Yeah, I mean it's I just writing the name on my little tab here, and I'll be able to think in a second. Moscow. Okay. I think that was. I mean, one was amazing, but that was like a truly unique thing to see. I've never seen it, and I'm really glad you brought that to my attention because I mean, I've heard the song. Of course, I've heard the song.
Yeah.
No bullshit. But I've never seen that version, and that was perfect.
Yeah,
it was just like
it is phenomenal. I've seen that a lot of time. I love it. My kids love it as well when the riff comes in.
Yeah, so I'm going big on this one.
And the beginning coming in with the just like the Italian guy,
Yeah, it was his from Good, the Bad, the Ugly, or whatever it happens to be, Morricone or whatever his name is. Yeah, Morricone.
Right.
Awesome. Yeah, no.
Go big then.
I'm going big. I'm going 9.8. 9.8. No bullshit. 9.8.
That is a whopper.
That's a whopper because it's amazing. I mean, is there a rock song almost as iconic as that?
I read how they recorded it. That was not a simple process of recording either. Bob Rock had to sort it out and put layer upon layer upon layer. It was
Bob Rock's like
he's brilliant.
We know Bob Rock, and he's amazing. And I at one point I went to it was after that, but I went to the studio in Hollywood, in North Hollywood, called One on One, where they did the Black Album, where they set themselves up there, and that's just got this huge room and like the drum sounds and everything like that. Spectacular place.
Yeah, it's strange enough. I'll go on the score in a minute. I do apologize. The studio I went down to, the Plant record or the Plant Dance Salsalita. So in the main room, in one of the main rooms, there's a square cut out, and the roof goes right up. And so I said, why is this? And he goes, oh, Metallica did that for the drum sound. So they cut the square out and just raised the roof up. That's what they do to their drum to get the drum sound. They'll change the architecture of a studio.
Yeah.
So you came in with a 9.8.
9.8. So where? I mean, it's your track. What do you reckon? Where are you going to go?
I did love that song. Coming in with a 9.8 with you.
Oh, damn. Okay, the computer's going to have to work hard on this one. Are you ready with the computer?
Yeah.
Computer. So that's a 19.6. Oh my god.
Oh my
That's
god.
a big score.
That could win the month.
They are going to win the month, I think. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. They're going to displace the other Metallica.
Read out the top 5. Read out the top 5.
Top 5. Metallica, Sandman from Moscow. Metallica 1 is number 2. Fleetwood Mac, The Chain. I got to say, watch that if you haven't seen it. Still an amazing thing. Rush, Xanadu live, Exit Stage Left version. That was pretty amazing as well. Pink Floyd, Sorrow live. So these are all in our archive. Please like, subscribe, and check them out.
Absolutely spoiled doing those tracks. It's so nice.
I tell you, they're all ridiculous tracks.
I know.
All, really, really good.
But you know what we got to do? We've got to pick on next versus. So the one before we had Guitar God versus. Are you ready for the for the Wheel of Fortune?
Yes. Is it time for
the Wheel
of Fortune?
Okay, welcome back.
What could it be?
The Wheel of Fortune. So the idea is we land on something and then we try and versus and pick the best track. Are you ready for this?
Absolutely, I'm already. Is Jim ready?
Yes, he's ready. He's on double time from the union, so he's got the whole band there. You ready?
Please like and subscribe. This is the only way we can afford Jim. So yeah,
it's hard to keep a real orchestra in employment. Are you ready, Jim? 3, 2. Oh, the best track of the 70s.
70s.
Oh, versus the track from the 70s.
Okay,
that's a big genre. Let's put this electronic.
That's a big genre, but with some amazing albums. Some amazing albums. It's not gone yet. I can still see it. Okay. Is it gone?
Yeah. That's working well. Okay. Right, the best track.
All right, so suggest some 70s tracks, please. Though,
gosh, that's a huge
cracking stuff in the 70s.
Looking forward to that one, but we're not there yet, George.
Really? Why not? You've got a letter.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're kidding. So does that mean it's time for
Cozy Corner? Are you ready, George?
So Cozy Corner, just for those who don't know, who are joining us, people write us letters.
They do.
Lovely.
Yes.
And if you would like to write a letter looking for advice or complaints or suggestions.
Personal issues.
Keep it, we're English. There's only a limit to how much we can deal with, I think, Yep. We are the New Thamesman at gmail.com.
So I pulled this out of the
out of your what?
Thousands of letters in the bag this week. It's hard to pick one, but I managed to pick one. This one is from Mrs. Cunningham in South Oxfordshire.
Mrs. Cunningham again. She's the one who has some weird.
She sits on many boards.
She has some weird proclivities.
And she also has a son Peter, who's about 48, who lives with her.
He really?
Moved home and he's gone a bit bald on top. And whenever you see him, Mrs. Cunningham's got 6 pugs. Anyway, we don't know. She just wrote.
Never trust a man who has a pug. A lady who has a pug. Sorry. Do you have a pug, Alex?
Dear Thamesman, we love your channel, Peter and I, and we think you young gentlemen are doing a fine job.
That's very nice. That's very nice to recognise us as young. So good. Jolly good.
I am writing, as your episode on the expression gassed badger brought back memories from my childhood that I'm hoping you can help me out with.
Okay. Okay. All right.
When I was very little, I would often hear my grandmother complain to grandfather that the bald badger had escaped again.
No, okay, carry on. Okay.
As a young child, I never understood why my grandfather would keep such a dangerous animal in such a small apartment, especially as my grandmother was not only allergic to anything that moved, but also that the apartment was on the top level. Indeed, it was 30 floors up, which is no place to keep a badger. Obviously, I looked for the bald badger, but could not find it anywhere. I wonder if you could shed any light on the memory. He was a sailor in the war. I wonder if badgers were common pets for sailors, or indeed they were a naval mascot. Any help would be appreciated. Yours, Mrs. Cunningham, South Oxfordshire.
I really wonder sometimes. I do worry slightly. But anyway, to the point. This reminds me of our Winston Churchill.
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, England. And Winston Churchill was known for his what's the word? Bon motifs, like little stories and little things. And apparently he was approached one day by a lady in the Houses of Parliament who noticed that his fly was undone. And she came up to him and she said, "Sir, you appear to be unflied, undressed." And he turns to her and he goes, "Madam, the cage door may be open, but the lion sleeps." and I wonder if that's the same bald badger we're talking about.
Well, the grandfather would be saying the bald badger had escaped again, or grandmother would be saying that. I mean,
maybe it's not.
Is it a euphemism for something else? I mean,
or did they really have a badger?
Well, this is, there were 30 floors up. It could be that
they're vicious buggers, badgers.
Horrible. They give you TB as well.
Well, it depends how you keep them, but really, doesn't it? But I mean, cute and furry now.
Mrs. Cunningham, you are right. The Navy do have many a mascot.
They have trained killer badgers.
I would say to Mrs. Cunningham that yes, maybe that the bull badger was a naval terminology.
I think it's a safe.
I think that's a nice way out of it.
Just leave it there. Nicely done.
Oh dear, good. All right. Well,
coming to a T-shirt near you. How is your bald badger?
The bald badger's escaped again. Oh dear me.
My bald badger's escaped.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Good.
It's like, what's this, like Nature Watch or something?
Well, Metallica number 1 and 2. On that note.
On that note.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll see. So what are we going to do? What was the...
We're going to do Guitar God versus Guitar God and 70s versus 70, unless we totally edit this out and put something else in.
Right, okay, that's entirely possible.
Wait and see. All right, George. See you on the flip.
Later.
Yeah. Nah. Bye.
Bye.